We are starting off with the biggest story moving markets around the world. That is the brewing trade war over in the U.S. America's closest allies plan to slap billions of dollars in tit-for-tat tariffs on U.S. goods after the Trump administration announced it is imposing steel and aluminum tariffs on them.
Today, we find ourselves the target of punitive tariffs on Canadian aluminum and steel under pretext of a 232 national security provision. Let me be clear. These tariffs are totally unacceptable. The American administration has made a decision today that we deplore and obviously is going to lead to retaliatory measures, as it must, but we regret that. We would much rather move together in partnership, understanding that no two countries have economies as interwoven and mutually beneficial as Canada and the United States.
Ambos coincidieron en primero condenar y lamentar las decisiones de los Estados Unidos en materia de aranceles. Segundo, tanto México como Canadá comparten la necesidad de actuar de manera inmediata con una reacción equivalente. Y tercero, seguiremos trabajando con muy estrecha comunicación con Canadá para coordinadamente seguir defendiendo un orden comercial abierto, libre y basado en reglas, incluyendo una exitosa modernización del Tratado de Libre Comercio.
Mexico vowed to impose duties on everything from U.S. flat steel to cheese, while Canada's government said it will impose tariffs on as much as $12.8 billion of U.S. steel, aluminum, and other products from July 1st. The reaction came quickly after U.S. Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross announced the U.S. will levy duties on the imported metals from the European Union, Mexico, and Canada starting Friday and ending their temporary exemptions. The EU also said it would take immediate steps to retaliate, and business leaders are warning that it is the consumer that will ultimately be on the losing end.
We are absolutely worried about the decision of the U.S. administration, and one thing is that it brings burden to steel and aluminium producers in Germany and in Europe and elsewhere, but it also brings the burden of the demand of steel and aluminium, and this is mainly from our perspective, German car producers producing in the U.S., in the locations in the USA, and therefore for them this is an increase in expenditures, and at the end of the day also that brings disadvantages to the USA as production location, at the end of the day also to the consumers.
The decision likewise drew flack from various officials in the U.S., and several manufacturers and business groups are slamming Trump's decision, calling it a tax on U.S. companies and consumers.
This action is going to hurt consumers. It's going to hurt exporters, the vast majority of whom are medium-sized and small businesses. Consumers will pay more. There'll be less competition. I mean, this is not good. And the problem is they're using this under some kind of a national security issue, which I frankly don't understand. Now, when it comes to trade, I believe there needs to be an expedited process. If somebody's cheating, there ought to be a way to determine it quickly so that jobs are not lost by the time the verdict comes in. But this just appears to be, I mean, I don't understand it. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's smart. And it's just another measure that separates us from our traditional allies. So it's no longer appears to be America first. It's almost like America alone. Whether it's the Iran situation, which has taken us away from our allies, whether it's the Paris Accord, now it's trade. I don't know where this is going to end up, but it's not healthy for the Western world, in my opinion.